Time for another video where I just ran a bit about the topic with some amazing bubble shooter gameplay in the background. This was my best bubble shooter mode ever, I think. Negativity is not a new thing, also not on the internet. Sadly, it's just a thing that will never stop. Being negative is a completely normal emotion that we have, just like being positive. Nowadays though, I feel that social media is an even bigger cesspool than it ever was. And to be fair, the internet was always full of hate. But back in the day, the hate felt more fun. It would sound a bit weird, but whenever I got insulted back in the day, I felt more like, haha, that's funny. He called me mean words, that's kinda hilarious. I never really felt that insults can really hit you on the internet. The whole concept, it was just so silly to me. I started using the internet in like 2003, looking for Zelda fan forums or playing Graal online in Neopets, and at that point the internet already wasn't a secret little club anymore that only nerds really used, but it still felt rather small in comparison to nowadays. Most likely because everyone was on their own little websites. There were tons of video game forums. All the different Nintendo magazines had their own forum, Nintendo had their own official forum, etc. When you wanted to talk about Nintendo, there were so many places to do it. Nowadays, it's just not like this anymore. Over the years, the internet became more like a central hub with some really big sites. Want to talk about Nintendo nowadays? You either have to use a rather small forum that isn't really comparable to the super big ones back in the day, or you go onto Twitter or YouTube and Instagram and find yourself some people to follow that also really love Nintendo and tweet about it or post about it. I think because everyone kinda got pushed into the same few huge sites, it made the internet feel so impersonal. Suddenly everyone is just on the same few big sites and it all gets mixed together, which can lead to some real negativity and real hatred. It's a feeling I can't quite put into words, why I feel that hate now is way worse than back in the day, but maybe others are feeling the same way. Recently, I saw a cosplay picture of some guy and it wasn't even bad. It had like 5,000 likes and some nice comments, but it had like 900 quote retweets and most of it was stuff like, haha, look at this dumb dork, Lamau, and other rather mean-spirited comments that I don't really want to say. Because I guess since it had a lot of likes from the guy's followers, since he had a lot, it got picked up by the algorithm and got watched into other people's timelines, who are maybe not into cosplay because they are normies. I hate the word normies, but for the sake of my example, let's use it. Back in the day, you didn't have all of this algorithm stuff on YouTube and maybe not other places. To find things you liked, you looked through the hashtags, etc. Obviously there was that who to follow stuff and page, but it wasn't really comparable to how Twitter is now. But now, since there's the whole For You page, or it just straight up shows you stuff from people you don't even follow, it sometimes will show totally harmless stuff to others that maybe are not into that content, because no algorithm is perfect. And instead of ignoring it, they will just start to hate on it and leave mean comments or other things. Which is another thing I don't get. If I see something I don't like, I will just ignore it. If I suddenly see a cosplay or selfie and I don't like it, I just think, not my cup of joe, and I just keep scrolling. I will never understand how people just think, wow, I don't like this, time to leave a mean comment, because it will surely make my day better. The worst thing about it is that if a rather big account does it, it can open a whole can of worms coming out who just do the same. Sometimes one mean quote tweeted is all it takes for others to do the same and everyone coming together to harass a person that did nothing wrong. It's insane behavior. Oh yeah, yes, the person who just dressed up as their favorite fictional character really deserves getting insulted by thousands of people. I even tried to look up the context for that hate, but there was none. It was just people thinking it's funny to make fun of someone for literally doing nothing. Like sometimes you will see stuff like this happening to people who did something bad. And yeah, I can understand dogpiling onto a person then to a certain degree because they did something bad and you kind of want to show people, hey, this person did a bad thing. But I think because nowadays we are all on these same pages, instead of having our own containment zones, it is like this. Obviously, sometimes you had trolls sign up to anime websites and go like, wow, anime sucks, and everyone just laughed at them. But nowadays, since we're all on the same webpages, websites, one tweet or post can just go to a completely wrong audience, and you get swarmed for it. But maybe I'm just onto nothing. Obviously, it gives also more reach to specific hobbies, so people can have an easier time getting into new things, so it's not all that bad. It's like many things in life. It got its good sides, but also ugly sides. There's like so many self-proclaimed haters where if you check their Twitter profile, it's just them being extremely negative and thinking they're somehow funny as hell because of it. Yeah, telling someone to kill themselves because they said they think Vanserchan is the best Mario game, sure, is the epitome of humor. I laughed my ass off. That's... yeah. When I see people like that, I always hope they're like 14, so it's at least a bit understandable. You know, you want to be edgy, you want to be cool, you want to be like, wow, cool, I can tell people to kill themselves. But if they're over the age of 20, it's just a bit sad. Maybe one day they will see the light and become at least a bit more positive and see how it also makes the people around them happier. When it comes to entertainment things, I can be quite negative about things like games myself. There's tons of games or other things like movies, anime, manga, etc. I didn't like. But what I don't do anymore is trying to ruin the fun for others or of the other people. When I used forums, I was the kind of poster always getting into arguments and wanting to be the person with the better taste. But nowadays, if I see a tweet where someone enjoys the game they enjoy, I won't suddenly respond to that tweet going, wow, did you know that game actually fucking sucks? Because why? For what purpose? Do people think the opinion will suddenly change? Oh, you know what? I guess I will change my opinion now because this random person on the internet told me I'm wrong and I should actually dislike it. It's totally fine to create content or post tweets or anything that is critical of things. There's tons of those video essays that go on for 12 hours about how much a game sucks, but none of those videos could ever change the opinion of something for me. If I like something, then I will just like it. Obviously, it probably has flaws and all, but I don't quite get how easily some people can just change their opinion because they watched a video on it. People who kill others also know it's wrong, most of the time, and they still do it. So I don't need people to tell me I shouldn't kill because I would just do it anyways. But I don't kill in the first place, so... For example, Tears of the Kingdom is probably one of the biggest disappointments I ever had in gaming, but when I see people enjoying it on Twitter, I don't feel that excitement in my fingers that people feel when they see the perfect opportunity to tell people it actually sucks. But I'm also not a debate bro. Some people were just born to have pointless discussions on the internet instead of using their time to actually have fun. Or maybe they're really having so much fun to talk about what console is the best and why the other console sucks, and just having pointless arguments about kids' toys. Negativity also made me a bit afraid of creating things on the internet, like making videos, streaming, drawing, etc. Luckily nowadays, I know it doesn't matter. If someone tells me something I made sucks, I'm just gonna think to myself, okay, seeing constructive criticism though, that's fine. I read those and think about them if I think they're a good point. I may even respond to it. I read pretty much all the comments I get, but barely respond because I'm pretty shy and sometimes don't know what to say, so I just heart them or upvote them. And I'm extremely surprised how well some of my videos are doing, and I haven't gotten a single insult against me somehow. Maybe it's because I haven't really created anything yet where I truly just poop on something. The bigger you become, the harder it is to read all the comments, especially as a streamer obviously. And sometimes I watch big streamers who have so many people in the chat where 99% of messages are positive and only a small amount are writing something dumb, but the streamer always focuses mostly on the negative messages instead of the positive ones. Because I think it's obviously an ego thing, right? You kind of want to own people back and show them you're more witty or better than them with your response, but I think it's mostly just disrupting the flow in its stream. Instead of talking about fun things or continuing playing the game, they start ranting about that one person for half an hour while saying how much they are totally not seething right now. In a way it's funny, but also a bit sad, especially when those people are already doing this for years now and could just ignore it and ban it. That's what everyone should do though. The ban button is a totally legit tool online, even if other people will try to tell you it's not. If you don't like the way someone is behaving online, just ban them, block them, boom. They will most likely think, haha, they banned me, keep building up your dumb little safe space. Being blocked totally means I won this argument or whatever instead of just being annoying, yippee. While they will keep wasting their time annoying other people, you can just cruise comfortably through life, just clicking one simple button to get rid of annoying people. But I'm a masochist, so if you ever want to insult someone, just come to me and insult me instead to let it all out. We are both winning in this case. You get to insult someone and I get insulted, which I enjoy. The closest comment I ever had on YouTube that really made me want to respond to it in a snarky way was on my Xenoblade 2 video saying something like, wow, why play a game if you want a good story? It's all about the gameplay. Because I mostly talked about the story in my video and why I love it so much, and my fingers were twitching to comment on that comment and try to own him, but I decided against it because it's not worth the time to invest. Like I said earlier, when I was younger, I used forums so much and always had to tell people about my own opinions and respond to other posts and show them how much my opinion is better and blah blah. Yeah, just how it is. Nowadays I keep things like that to myself. Not getting into pointless arguments on the internet improved the quality of my life by at least 74%, even though I like to sometimes waste my time by arguing about silly things with my friends. But having a goof with your friends is a bit different from doing it with strangers, and that's gonna bring me to my next point. There's so many people that think it's an acceptable thing to be the kind of banter guy, even with strangers. You probably know someone like that, someone who always has to be a bit insulting towards you, but you know they don't truly mean it, and if you tell them to stop, they actually do stop, since that's what friends should do. If you tell someone that you don't like what they're doing, they will stop for you. You know, obviously some things are harder to stop than others, like if you have a friend who likes to do crack, you can't just easily tell them, hey, stop doing crack. They know that, but it's hard to stop crack, I think. Listening to friends and actually stopping with things they don't like, basically. But some people think it's fine to act like that with everyone. And it's not really fine. It's annoying, and most people react in such pissy ways if you call them out on it. Like when you tell them to stop, they just start spouting their standard response of, wow, didn't know you were so sensitive. Or the classic, just a joke, bro. It was just me insulting you for a joke. I think many people think people put on a fake persona sometimes, and let me tell you one thing. It's normal to have different ways to talk to people depending on how or who you talk to. You can still be a banter guy or girl or whatever you want to be, and be a respectful person to people you don't know, and start to banter with them maybe after you get to know them better, or not, depending on if they like it or not. I really doubt most people who try to banter with everyone talk like that with their parents, or at least I hope they don't. Or maybe they got it from their parents, who knows. But this is also not a true black or white thing. Some people can be approached like this, others can't. Just don't be surprised if some people don't like it. Also, constantly surrounding yourself with negative things is also not a really healthy thing to do for you. I think the kids nowadays call it doom scrolling. Basically, just scrolling through tons of news that show you how the earth is fucked and will be even more fucked in the future, and reading the dumbest political takes known to man. Also just being around pretty negative people too much. No one showing their joy, only using it to pull down others, etc. If you feel it's taking too much of a mental toll on you, you should take a break and do fun things. Or try to find fun things if you don't have any. And also curate your content better. Obviously it's important to keep up to date on the news, and also engage in political discussions when you read the internet, but not at the cost of your own mental health. Strike a healthy balance. It's not selfish at all to put yourself first sometimes. In the end, just be nice to others. It's not that hard. It should be super duper simple, and sometimes I really wonder why people are just not that nice to each other. I'm a bit naive like that. Obviously, I know humans are more complex like that, but still, it's nice to cling onto some hope that maybe one day some people will realize how simple it truly can be. Lots of words for something so simple and obvious, but talking about this is worth it, even if it just turns one person into a more positive person, because being positive is more fun. And it also affects the people around you. Be their sunshine that everyone needs in their life. Which doesn't mean you can't be negative too sometimes, because even the sun throws a shadow after all. Have yourself a good one and enjoy the rest of your day. Or maybe you just woke up, so there's still lots of time to enjoy the day and the beauty it brings. But maybe you also just watched it before going to bed, and in that case, have the sweetest dreams ever. And don't forget to brush your teeth. You can hire me to be your dad or mom for just $5 an hour. I will make sure you live a responsible life as a nice citizen.